G'day guys, MFWest here, and we are back with some Legion content. A Mage Tower is back up. It's been a pretty big drought, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been pretty quiet. I am literally raid logging at the moment, Mythic, and yeah, it's just, I'm not really enjoying the game. Bit of a content drought for me, so this is good to kind of get injected back in for the Christmas holiday. But the main focus of this video is literally to tailor what you guys will need to kill Agatha and get your appearance. So in front of you is what the appearance looks like. It looks fucking amazing. Apocalypse as well with that appearance just suits it perfectly. I will be rocking this for a while, I think. But yeah, very, very sexy. And yeah, so I think the reward is definitely worth it. And yeah, this guide will pretty much show you everything you need to know, whether you killed it in Legion or not. Everything you guys need to know, the small things that you won't find elsewhere, on how to kill Agatha and get the appearance for yourself. So I'm pretty much going to jump straight into what you guys need going into this. So let's get into it. Alright, so gear. Now, there isn't much to say, right? Legendary is disabled, Covenant's disabled, previous Legendary is disabled. All of that shit is gone. You're pretty bare bones. You have to just go in there with the best in slot gear that you have. I will say that Mastery is your preferred stat going into here due to the amount of adds that you have to kill and just how that works in with our pet damage, our diseases and whatnot. So I would, if you wanted to go in there with an extra like 5% edge, I would gem and enchant everything with Mastery. I didn't. I just kind of stuck with what I've got for Raid. But again, if you want to grab that little extra edge, go and get everything mastery wise. Again, it doesn't matter what legendaries you pick. Pick your highest item level gear as well. Everything will get scaled down. Your trinkets still work. I actually ended up using, I would not recommend using the ocular gland for Agatha. It is terrible. It is a terrible trinket for this because you're constantly always below the threshold there for the trinket. I would recommend using Old Warrior's Soul and IQD. And if you don't have that, I would recommend just going to Blood Mallet and pretty much figuring out what you've got from there. But just don't get baited by Ocular Gland. It is not a good trinket for that fight. Otherwise, yeah, best in slot gear and prefer Mastery. That is pretty much the gear and the stats for that. For enchants and everything, again, you can enchant and gem Mastery. Consumables, use your normal consumables that you would use. Drums, I'll let you guys on a little tip here. Drums are so fucking expensive. I think people have figured out that the Mage Tower is coming up, and people are going to be abusing drums, and they've increased the price of them. Get in quick and buy them as soon as possible. Get your normal food, flask, your sharpening stone, and if you want, you can augment as well. But let's get into talents, okay? So talents is pretty specific. So Clawing Shadows, massive. For those that don't know the fight, I'll kind of briefly explain why I've picked this talent anyway. Clawing Shadows lets you hit some of the adds that are in awkward positions around the room. And when there are boulders coming down, you don't want to actually go up to it and melee it. You want to hit them from range to be safe. Especially when there's also puddles on the ground. You want to avoid standing in puddles. And to do that, you have to step outside of melee range. And if Agatha herself has wounds on her, you can hit it from range. Just a great talent for the fight. Unholy Blight synergy with Dark Transformation, which is a massive plus, and it's going to apply Virulent Plague to everything very, very quickly, and that's what we want. We want to save GCDs and kill the freaking imps as fast as possible. Now, this is up to debate. I prefer Asphyxiate, and there are adds that come in and channel to the boss and heal her. I like Asphyxiate because it's a stop to one of those mechanics. Grip of the Dead, you could argue that it's, you know, you can keep them inside your D&D for longer, but I do think Asphyxiate is the play here to stop that healing, because that's one of the ways you're going to wipe. You're basically blocking a wipe factor here, so huge. Soul Reaper, it was actually, it did decent damage for me, actually, on this fight. It did about 20k damage for me. It's just a very useful execute mechanic. When the boss gets to 35%, you want to kill her as soon as possible. You don't want to fuck around. So I think Asphyxiate is a no-brainer here in terms of that. Next up, Spell Eater. non-negotiable really. This when those three ads spawn that channel those Pyroblast spells on you, it does massive damage. Spell Eater gives you that time that you need to kind of survive and kill them. And if you time it correctly, Spell Eater is up for when those imps, those dangerous imps spawn every single round. So it is perfect. You have AMS for every single one of them, and you're basically immune to damage. Can save your life, Spell Eater. Wraithwalk is just not useful. You're not moving too much between sides, so and Death Pact, you're just going to gimp yourself. And yeah, Spell Eater is just really great. Gives you massive runic power and more Death Strikes and more Death Coils. So Unholy Pact, not even going to comment. Army of the Damned, you want more Apocalypses. It helps you break down her Dark Fury shield as well. Like one Apocalypse can break down her Dark Fury shield and it will allow you to kick the boss. So yeah, really, really important there, guys. So that pretty much sums it up. I can't talk about Covenants because you can't actually use them. So that is pretty much everything you need to know. Now, there is one advanced tip for those of you that want to watch this. I really think that you guys need to be aware of this mechanic. So when you empower your pet, his leap turns into a kick. For those of you that don't PvP, when you can use as a kick actually, and has a pretty decent range. What you want to be doing is you want to be using this kick to stop the channels on the imps. Now I'm going to point it out in the video as and when I do actually do it. And stopping one of the casts from channeling is literally going to save you like 5% of the boss's HP. You guys need to keybind this pet leap and use it on the ads when they come in and try to heal the boss. So important, okay? That's one of the most advanced tips that I can give to you on this fight, and I guarantee you majority of Unholy DKs will not be doing this when they go into there, so do the extra bit and make the fight that much easier, okay? So that is pretty much it, guys. I'm using my normal pots in this as well, so let's get straight into the actual gameplay. Let's go. Alright, here we are. So straight off the bat, we're going to army and do our normal rotation, Unholy by Dark Transformation, Trinket, and then Apocalypse, kill all the remaining imps. Try and get a Soul Reaper on one of them before they die. The first wave is just not an issue. So guys, here is the first set of the imp servants. Now these are the imps that I told you about that actually channel onto Agatha and heal her, okay? You need to use Mind Freeze to kick one of them. What I usually do is I Mind Freeze and then I stun the other one with Asphyxiate and then I kill them in the next time before they can cast again. That is the idea. You want to have 2 stops. So think of this fight as having... So basically, as a Death Knight, you have like 4 to 5 stops. You've got Mind Freeze, Asphyxiate, Death Grip, Pet Gnaw, Pet Leap. 5. So that is huge. And if you utilize all 5 of those, you're going to put yourself in a really good position to like literally annihilate this fight, because this is one of the core mechanics of the fight here. So I actually have a tracker for my Dark Transformation when it's active. Now my Dark Transformation actually ran out, so I wasn't able to utilize my pet kick, but I've Mind Freeze one and I've stunned the other one, and now I'm kiting this Fuming Imp. So the next thing you need to know, the Fuming Imp, she'll spawn quite a few of these. They'll chase you, and eventually when they connect with you, they'll stop and do a cast. Now when that cast ends, it explodes and drops a pool of shit on the ground. You don't want that to happen, because the pools of shit can be annoying to step into when you're doing the boss. There's 2 things you can do. Kill it before it explodes. Grip or stun it while it's doing the actual explosion cast. Keep in mind, you want to keep your grips and stuns for the actual imp servants. Okay? My favorite thing to do is to grip it when it's casting the explosion, okay? Now, some of these will go off. You know, you can't keep track of all the Fuming Imps, but really try your best to kite them and then Soul Reaper them when they're about 40-50%, and just chuck a Death Claw into them. They'll literally die. They have 2k HP. I know it's a bit difficult to gauge HP at this level, but yeah, it's not much. So here is the famous Dark Fury mechanic. Now, all this is a shield. You need to break the shield, and then once it's broken, you can kick her. That's as simple as it is, while dodging crap on the ground. Now, I like to... Now, the first Dark Fury, you'll have your Unholy Blight and Dark Transformation coming up. Okay? Thereafter, you'll pretty much always have an Apocalypse ready for it. Now, you want to hold your cooldowns in case a Dark Fury spawns. You just want to throw... You don't want to throw your cooldowns randomly in this fight. You need to be kind of hoarding them for important abilities. And those important abilities are the Dark Fury and the 3 Caster Imps. Okay? So, as you're going to see here, Unholy Blight and Dark Transformation on this set, and immediately one-shots the shield and a kick, okay? Now, these are the lovely These are the lovely 3 imps that spawn. As you can see, they're casting these shadow bolts. They stack up over time and do more damage over time. So really important that you annihilate these imps. And look, my Dark Transformation has 7 more seconds. So I can use my pet to destroy these imps as well as the imp servants. Now, I don't have pet kick, unfortunately, available for these imp servants. So we're going to have to play this one smart. I actually don't even have kick available. So I stun one with Asphyxiate and I grip the other one. And they get one shot. Now, again, after you stun them, they eventually will try and recast, but yeah. Now, while these 3 caster imps are up, the boss is immune, so you do really want to kill those caster imps ASAP, because all that Dark Transformation damage there was just absorbed by the immune, so really important. And as you can see here, guys, just kiting the Fuming Imp out, and then a Sorry procs, and on we go. Now, I have Apocalypse for this Dark Fury, and it instantly goes away. So here I have my... Now here's actually the pet kick mechanic, guys. So as you can see here, I pet kick the one on the left and I mind freeze the one on the right. And honestly, if you have Dark Transformation up for this, you don't even need to worry about actually using your CC. Dark Transformation finesses those imps. So here we have the 3 caster imps spawning, okay? Now, as you can see, they do massive damage. I'm like almost half HP from these. You can time to use your AMS at every single time those 3 caster imps spawn, and it will line up perfectly. I don't there because I'm a greedy bastard. You should be using AMS every time those 3 imps actually spawn. So again, 50%, she's going to use her last Dark Fury. Now this is the overlap that you can get. You can get the 2 healing ads, as well as Dark Fury. Now, keep in mind, guys, when you don't interrupt Dark Fury, she's channeling like these shadow bolts at you, and they really hurt. So you have to interrupt and multitask and do all the things. Okay, so the boulders are spawning. Now they spawn in a specific order, and you just have to kind of be mindful of where these boulders are and just kind of dodge them. After a few attempts, you'll kind of realize like, okay, this is the order that they're spawning in, and you'll dodge them quite easily. Now, this is where it's getting quite hectic, right? She's transferred to the other side of the room. You've got the healing imps going out. I'm using my pet Gnaw to stop those. Try and reduce the overall amount of damage as much as I can. Now, for this Dark Fury, again, I have Apocalypse for it, and my Mind Freeze just comes off cooldown. Now, between 40% to 38%, she actually transfers back to the other side. You'll see that here soon. Now, I have Army of the Dead ready to go. So I'm saving my Lust and Army of the Dead for as and when she transfers over to the other side to get the maximum benefit. I choose the Dark Transformation here because we get an overlap of the 3 caster imps as well as the imp servants. Absolutely annihilate them, guys. Dark Transformation and Unholy Blight are so good for that situation. Now, awkward situation here. I wanted to actually Army of the Dead and Lust here, but look, I haven't got Unholy Blight and Dark Transformation, so I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold that shit. So again, Fuming Imp, no changes, guys. All the same mechanics here. Take them bit by bit and prioritize them as you do. Again, I have Apocalypse for this Dark Fury, which is why we love Army of the Damned. And boom, shield's gone. I'm in a really good position here. I'm full HP. The Imp Servants are actually spawning here. I actually Army here, which is a bit of a questionable Army. Immediately one-shot them with Dark Transformation, but I popped everything. Lust, Army, Unholy Blight, Dark Transformation, and look what happens. So we actually get, she transfers over the other side of the room. I lose about 10 seconds of Army of the Dead uptime, potentially even more here. So that's a mistake on my part. I should have been patient and held my Army and Lust. When we transferred over to the other side, it had more uptime. But I'm on top of the ads, and that's the thing, guys. If you stay on top of the ads, you're perfectly fine. And remember, when she's in execute range, you need to be Soul Reapering as much as possible. Get those Soul Reapers in and stop these little piece of shit imps from healing her. Use everything in your arsenal, your grips, your pet stuns, your asphyxiates, and you will kill her. So Dark Fury is channeling on me here. I IBF. When you don't have a kick or you have no cooldowns to break the shield, pop a defensive, guys. If you need to, pop AMS to survive her Dark Fury damage because it's really, really hefty. At this point, she spawns her last set of imps, and I have AMS for this, which is huge. Watch my HP. The AMS gets absorbed. I Death Strike after killing each of the imps. Very important that you micro in you weave in your Death Strikes when you kill the imps, guys, to stay healthy. And yeah, this is the last set of imp servants that we're going to see, and now we just channel the boss. So guys, if you coordinate your CDs correctly for each ad set, and save your Apocalypse for every Dark Fury, you put yourself in a really good position. And down she goes. So, managing ads, managing the priority of the ads as well, correctly using your CDs. Don't waste your army like I did. Only really army and lust when she moves over to another side, like as she lands. Okay, that's how you're gonna get the biggest benefit out of your army of the dead there. So that is pretty much going to be the video, guys. If you have any questions, please pop them down below in the comments. But that is pretty much my insight into the Agatha from when I killed her 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a hot minute. But yeah, pretty much the same fight, the same priority of things. And to be honest, I think it was pretty easy, I think. But again, I think it's actually harder than it was in Legion because of the lack of legendaries and whatnot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.